All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It is the Creator Hangout. Orange Cone puts us on. We do this. Actually, it's transferred from Wednesday to Thursday nights. It's going to be on Thursday night for the next 4 weeks because Cthulhu Invades Wonderland is on. And I have some of the great creators up here. But it's St. Patrick's Day, so we got to do a few things first. One, let me know that you are here. Comment, David Byrne is in the house. I know one of the creators is trying to get in. I get it. I only have a 10 slot. So message me. Let me know who you are so I can get you in the waiting room and we'll get that all taken care of. I'm going to pour myself a Guinness. You know what? I'm going to play myself a little song while I do that. Hold on. Let's cue this up here. Let's get this going. Just while I'm getting ready for this Irish celebration. Maybe you guys have heard of it. If it ever plays. What's going on? This is Bad Turbo. There we go. This is a good song. Just do this to get us ready for St. Patrick's Day, ladies and gentlemen. We have the crew from Cthulhu Invades Wonderland here. I'm going to be bringing them on as this dope-ass jam plays. We have my boy Daniel, who does the dodo. We have Katrina, proofer extraordinaire. We have Not Legal, Emily. We have Chuck in the house, literal editor, all doing stuff. We have Peter in the house. We have David Galliano. We have Matt Knowles, Jeff Gibb, and Scotty Williams. All right, we got to shut this off even though I super love it. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
I swear I felt like this was ready to be a battle royal because we're all getting announced to come to the ring. We're going to be the last one to go over the top rope and win the championship belt.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Emily.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah.
I agree.
That's a different Cthulhu book that's out right now on Kickstarter.
That is true.
That's super weird that thanks, Chuck. Chuck is announcing from Cthulhu. What's up? I appreciate that. I was trying to figure out who it was. I was like, all right, Chuck. Blake says, oh, fuck yeah, let's party.
Hey,
Happy
Blake.
St. Patrick's Day. You forgot to ask to has beers. Oh, I apologize. I thought my wife could approve those. So please ask your wife that I can have beers, David Byrne.
Johnny.
Good stream. Good evening. Sorry, my bad. Oh, it's Jerome trying to get in. Jerome, we'll let you in at some point. Just chill out. Good evening. So, how is everybody? What are you guys here for?
A good time, not a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So we launched something today that's doing very, very well. Let's bring it up on the board and show everyone how well we're doing. I am blown away at this. It is just amazing how well. Matt's like, no, you've been promoting. It's been going great, but we're killing it.
Just jumped.
We just jumped. Yeah. We are at 14,000, not 1,400. It is pretty friggin' cool. What do you think? Just to give you an idea before I ask you guys what you guys feel about that. Chuck and I were talking today, and we did some kick tracking and looked it up. We raised just over 6,000 in 3 days for Cthulhu Invades Oz, which is crazy. Go nuts. So, what are you guys feeling? What do you guys think about it?
Oh, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Really awesome.
Hey, here's what I meant by that, Travis. I'm not surprised only because you did a good job with Oz. Oz is a great book that is easy to promote. I know that when we are at our tables, we've always got some copies of Cthulhu Invades Oz there, and we've not only talked about Oz, we've talked about Wonderland. I know that we're not the only people out there on the show floors that have been doing that. You've got a groundswell of people that have been out there that have been promoting this book for a year with Cthulhu Invades Oz because they see that Oz is a great book and they know how you put these books together. And I think you're seeing a lot of that promotion that you've done and all the other people that are in the book having that groundswell doing out there for you, the foot soldier. And it's actually coming to pass. I'm really glad to see that people are taking notice of how good these anthologies are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt,
sure.
you're coming in really bad, just so you know.
Yeah. garbled.
I can agree with him. Like, I've gotten into meetings with people at work and just started talking it over and sold copies of the book.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible.
When I've done shows, like, it's way easier to promote Cthulhu Invades than it is my own stuff. Like, I get so excited talking about the books and the people involved and my friends, and I talk you guys up and that it sells itself. Like, it's insane.
I had a friend solely come down to visit Florida with his parents, just so he could purchase a copy of the book, so he didn't have to pay for shipping.
Smart. That's wise.
Yeah, but the cost of gas right now, yeah.
Saves
That's
so
the
much
only
money.
reason I went to Florida.
Creators, I see Matt Cudd. I can't there. We are at our capacity. If you guys could message me on Facebook, I'll start mixing people in. People will start leaving and stuff like that. So we'll get people in. I'm going to be on for a few hours. So just stick around, hang out. We'll get you on at some point. So no problem. Just message me. Someone's not listening. Someone's messaging to get in again. But yeah, if you can just message me on Facebook so I can get you all taken care of. So who else is Daniel? This is so. All right. So returning people is everybody but Daniel. Right? Everyone but Daniel. So definitely we'll have to get wave 2 in here at some point. But everybody's returned. So that means you must have liked it the first time. Daniel, what's it been like being part of this process? And actually Matt too, because Matt was a late entry. He didn't. He got in by the skin of his teeth.
It's been really great because I think I reached out to you because I missed out on Oz, and I'm like, I heard you were doing. One of them was actually my dad's favorite books of all time is Alice in Wonderland. So I'm like, can I pitch to eventually? I think I sent you 2 pitches, and you chose, of course, this guy.
Dodo. Oh, look, you got a Dodo. That's nice.
Yeah. Nice.
To be honest, actually, more interested in this.
You're not driving.
You're not thriving.
Good.
Man, now I feel unprepared.
Well, all you guys are friends. Again, if you're a creator of this book, message me on Facebook or message in the group so I know that you're here and you're watching. We'll get you in. We'll mix you in. It's no big deal. At the hour mark, I'll get people out and we'll get new people in. No big problem. So at 11 o'clock, we'll do that. No problem.
And my thought process basically on the pitch was everyone's going to do like the big names. Let me just do something off the wall, and I chose the Dodo.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And Heather, this is your first time writing. Well, no, you wrote in the other one. Actually, you did a B story. You did the final B story.
Yeah, that was just a 1-pager in Oz, though. And so for this time around, I really wanted to take on a bigger role than that and just editing as well. And so, that was really fun. And it came together really quickly. Like Martha Schwartz is the artist that collaborated with me. And we had the story done and it got colored and everything like way early. I don't know. It was like months and months and months ago. So, it's been very exciting to see everything come together.
Heather, point of order, it's never called just editing. Never.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Chuck.
Not even that. It's motherfucking editing. Power of God, all that kind of shit. Editing.
Well, and even more so, everyone here is friends of me on Facebook. They know that I need it, so you are fully aware of the skill set that you bring to the Orange Cone Travis writing team.
Yeah.
You know it's bad when Travis posts something and then immediately underneath Google has a translate button. You're like, oh, really? Okay.
Oh, we just broke past 14K.
Yeah.
So 14. I would like to hit halfway funded tonight if we can. That would be amazing. We'll see what happens. So if you haven't backed, please do. But let's first, because we haven't even talked about it, Cthulhu Invades Wonderland. It is a sequel to Cthulhu Invades Oz. All of these creators took part of it, took characters. Let's go through your characters real quick. Who you got, and why is it better, and who did you really want? Start with you, Daniel. We'll go around.
I chose Vidodo, and I thought to myself, basically, it's the most off the wall choice. It's not going to be like the most obvious. Everyone's going to go for Alice or the Treasure Cat or the Queen of Hearts. I thought, it's my real first time in this anthology, so let me go for something that's a little more off the wall, and I went with the dodo just because it's the dodo, and I thought I came up with a really cool story, which I think will be a combination of cute animals meets the world's scariest horror you'll ever see.
Awesome. All right, Kat, you don't got anybody, but you got everybody.
I was gonna say
And
I have everybody. I have everybody given to me,
and not people you want. Like,
and not now. Well, it happens.
Right.
I should have put in my requests early.
To be fair, you did want to write, you just never got around to it.
We just never touched base with it.
Never made it happen.
Yeah.
Emily, who do you got?
I got the Dormouse, who I'm currently also drawing right now.
Oh,
Right.
oh,
Work in progress. Yeah.
One half of the team, Matt. Who do you got?
So we did the Knave originally, obviously, because we do top hats and we are steampunk and all that. Getting the Hatter was something that, at first, that was our first thought. Our concept didn't work with what the book was, and in the long run, we were glad we got the Knave because we were able to make a really fun, cool story with him. We had already worked with James Sims, and it came together really, really quickly, and we really liked the angle we took with him.
Well, one of the things, too, I think for James Sims, he was going through something with his art at the time. And you can tell that those pages where I have something to prove, because they are probably the best pages I've ever seen him do, which is really good when you get that best art from somebody.
Yeah. James did the our Corey Steger tribute cover, which today is the 1 year anniversary of his death. So we've been kind of focused on that today. But he did a great Game of Thrones homage out of all of Corey's guitars, and James was just we want to do a full story with him, not just the cover, and it worked out perfectly. And you're right, he really did killer art.
David, why did I let you back?
Are you hearing him at all?
Yeah, I'm hearing Matt.
Because you got to have that non-talented member to make all the other stories look.
Oh, that's
good.
not.
That's
true.
why.
That's not.
So
Thank you.
I got the people I wanted, actually. I got Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I wanted to do the brothers. I wanted to deal with some duality. I also wanted to do kind of two different forms of an anime manga style. So I got two different artists that were specialized in that. So I got to see that lighter slice of life version from one artist, and then that hardcore, Dragon Ball Z kind of, fight, from the other one. So I think it came out really good.
Yeah. And what's really cool about David is he grabbed some local guys who we hang out with, but they don't do sequentials. And he was like, "You got to learn today."
I suckered them into it, and they actually rose to the occasion. They did a really good job.
They
I gave them candy, and it was great.
Peter,
Yes.
writing in this one and proofing.
Yep. So my main story is the Four of Spades. I actually sat down and wrote the first draft of that before Oz was published. When we were talking about the fact that Wonderland was next, I got the story in my head and just started writing. And so he was my first choice, and I had him written long before we actually kind of officially said Wonderland was actually going to be a thing.
I hear you, man. I accidentally said I'm eventually going to take People for Neverland, and I have a folder full of scripts that I'm like, I'm not looking at these. So you're wasting your time.
Well, that's why I've even messaged you about Neverland and said, "Hey, when are you taking submissions?"
Right,
I don't know. Yeah, okay, just let me know when.
Exactly. One day, maybe someday.
And it's the same thing too. It'd be the same thing because my first thing was, well, I'll do a story about the cards. Nobody else went cards, and of course, the first day you mentioned it to everybody, there was 8 people who were like, "I want to do the cards." Really?
So Chuck.
Yep.
What do you got? What do you do? Why are you here? You're an editor.
Why am I here, right? It turns out I've written a word or two in my time. So I picked the Caterpillar. And what I love about the Caterpillar is he seems to be this character that's always very kind of pothead adjacent. He has this real ethereal way of thinking and talking and whatnot, but no one ever says it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm tired of beating around the bush. Let's just go right through it. So I have with me Chris Mad, William Wolford, and Shauna Mad, who have done some absolutely amazing work on that piece. And we like to say that our caterpillar is very much inspired by equal parts Tommy Chong and Charles Manson. So look out for that one.
Oh boy.
Is Wendy next to you?
She's across from me, yes.
Bring her on screen. We want to see what she did.
She can't. I can't bring her on screen, but she can yell through mine. Wendy, they want to know. Can you please tell them about your characters? Yell.
Okay, I'm like way behind in the video from you.
Okay, well, I asked you the question. You can answer me. Okay, yell at me.
So tell about my story?
Yes, they want to hear your characters and tell them about your story.
Okay, I chose the spades, mostly the spades for cards. Yeah. Oh, see, now I'm answering him and it's way behind. I chose the cards because, and it was my first choice, because I always found it very interesting that they were separated by basically class. So each card suit had a specific duty. And I thought that was really interesting. And I always liked the scene in the garden from the books. And I wanted to kind of play on that. So that's where my story came from.
I hope you guys heard that.
We did.
Good.
Neff says hi and cheers. We are going to be on Neff's show on Monday. So we're going to be invading. Cthulhu is invading lots of places, by the way. We got tons of shows. My lovely wife, what did you do?
So I just picked, I kind of made up a character of a shit-talking teapot. And so it's about a tea party. The Cthulhu gods, they come, they want to get the inside scoop from this teapot because, of course, she knows everybody in the land. And really it's a nod to the In Living Color skit, Benita Bottrell. I don't know if any of you guys remember Benita Bottrell, but she'd sit like in a window and she'd just talk crap about everybody in the neighborhood. And then she'd be like, but you didn't hear that from me. And so it's kind of a take on that. And she's just really talking crap about everybody in the neighborhood. And so it's called Spill the Tea.
Nice. And Mr. Stony Williams, the reason why all this is happening, when you bring Stony Williams to an anthology, you get a few things. One, he'll show up either before or after it happens. But when the mother effer shows up, he brings his A game. Like, look, he's already showing off that we are Golden Burrito winning author. Nobody else. Like, we're all that for Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, but he's already showing, like, look, I'm Golden Burrito winning, and 2-time, right? Like
that's right. Yeah.
You're 2-time. I'm 2-time as a publisher, but not as a writer.
Well, I assume that with as good as this book is going to be, that we'll get another one for Wonderland, and then maybe I can turn in all 3 of my Golden Burritos for a Platinum Burrito. I think that's the way it works. I think. So I chose The Walrus and the Carpenter, and it was, I believe, my first choice. When I sat down to think about it, I had a lot of initial ideas for some of the bigger characters, but I knew those were going to get grabbed up pretty quick. So I sat down and looked at the list and thought about who would be less likely to be picked up quickly, and I latched onto them and had an idea pretty instantly. I've been reading some of the Lovecraft stories, trying to pick a place to kind of crossover, and I partnered with Ben, who I am just now noticing I've never heard his last name out loud, so he's just Ben.
Yeah,
Madonna, Cher, Ben. But he knocked it out of the park. We had a great chemistry when we went through it, and I took the Walrus and the Carpenter poem and matched it stanza and rhyme, which was a lot of fun. And kind of a neat challenge to write a poem as well as match it to the script of a comic book. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you some inside baseball. So Dave is very close, the poet for Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, very close to Heather and I. He's our best friend, our mutual best friend. So when I said that you were doing a poem, my wife was very like, no, David does the poems. I was like, no, trust Stoney. He's doing his own thing. Like, she's like, no, he needs to do a comic book. And I was like, it is comic book. It's a comic book thing. Do you remember that?
Well, I certainly didn't mean to step on any toes, but I am very proud of the way it came out. And I'm excited to get eyes on it.
What do you think, babe? Got something to say on that? And look at how many people love your teapot.
Yeah, I just said that there's a bit of an Easter egg. She has a design on her top that makes it look like the hair rollers, like the pink curlers. So.
But I'm super excited. And what we'll do is, Stoney, you wrote a limerick. I mean, I don't know if it's a proper limerick because I don't know any of those things. Those are editors' jobs. But we'll just call it a limerick, right? That'll work.
Sure. Ben is actually a poetry teacher, and he liked it, so I'm calling it good.
James asked me for poetry. It was his fault. Now, writing something in a poetry style is different than like full-on poetry, which is what Dave does. Like,
sure.
no images, just thoughts. I've read it, Stoney. Great story / poem. So.
Yeah, she proved that one.
She did. By the way, proofing is going great, guys. You guys are doing a great job. And let's take a moment, especially Heather and I, to thank you guys. We are so grateful for all the hard work you guys have been putting in on the team. Like, you guys are absolutely killing it. Chuck as well. He's been here since down from day one, from when I was in a Dunkin' saying, hey, think this will work?
That's this crazy idea. Yeah, that is a crazy idea. You're right.
And one of the things that Chuck didn't say about the Caterpillar thing is he knew he was going to have to fight for a big character again for the second one. So he was like, so do you like Chris Matt? I was like, yes. I can get him, but he'll only do Caterpillar with me. Like, he's super, super hard to get. Like, he's only going to work with me. Like, look, I want to have him, but, like, this is what you got to do. Like, I don't even have a script, but I think we should just make this happen, Travis. Like, I'm doing it for you.
Yeah, you're welcome, by the way.
That's the way I remember it.
You can't have a story without, or a Wonderland story without Mad, right? Like, the name is so fitting. Like, we're all mad here. So it's like, you gotta have that. So which means you have to have Chuck. Like, just a package deal.
Right. That's fair. And he brought his daughter, a second Mad, into the book. And he does a little bit, he has a little bit of Cheshire Cat in his tabling, right?
Oh, yeah, he's a huge, he was so excited to do Wonderland and to be a part of this one. I mean, more so than anything else, he was like, oh, yeah, we got to do Wonderland. I was like, great. Well, then I'm going to sell this as a package deal because I really want the Caterpillar. And he's like, okay, yeah, Caterpillar sounds great, blah, blah, blah. And we did it.
Nice. So we are absolutely killing it, guys. Like, I am blown away at how well we're doing. And it's super exciting. It's, it's you guys. You guys are just, bringing it A game. You guys are all sharing. You guys are all part of this. You guys have all signed up for all the shows. So that has just been awesome. Sorry, I'm going to add a banner because I think banners are cool. What do you guys think? So since this is our panel and we haven't really talked about the book, and I don't even say this on the Kickstarter, one of the secrets about the book that makes this one hard compared to Oz is I do anthologies, but I do serialized storytelling with anthologies. That's what I've decided. So we take all the stories and make a serialized storytelling. To do that in Wonderland was really hard. So we had to choose, every character had to choose between loyal and mad, because some are going to go loyal, some are going to, it's a cat. What is said cat's name?
This is Pip.
Pip. Can you bring in one of the turtles or the ducks from outside as well?
I cannot, although I did see one crawl up to the front today, so probably somewhere over there.
But so what was that like, adding that extra level of storytelling to you guys, that extra level of being loyal or mad and having to address that in your story? Some characters, I'm sure it was easier than others, but trying to address that in the repercussions of that, going forward in the book.
Well, without going to really into spoiler territory for my story, it's like you read in the Dodo, like based off the Tennille illustration, like this very prim, proper, individual. So of course he's going to be definitely more on the side of loyal.
Right.
But he's not going to be above doing some really insane stuff to survive and to win the war.
Shock, got a story in Cthulhu Secret Wars. My mouse is going crazy today. Sorry. Anybody else want to talk about that?
For me, it was cool doing the Tweedledee and Tweedledum story, right? Because I kind of straddled the edge of both sides. And when I looked at the characters of Tweedledee and Tweedledum in Alice in Wonderland, when I read their parts, there really is no defining whether they are good or evil, right? They're just kind of there, They mess with Alice a little bit. So it was kind of cool to make them kind of choose a side and go from there. So I really enjoyed that part of it. I like that you gave us that directive. Like they had to be either mad or loyal.
Right.
And I specifically had it in my contract. I would only join the book if David Galliano was doing some straddling. So that worked out very well for me. Yeah. I was very specific on that.
You would not believe how many jobs that's gotten me, actually. It's my straddling. It's crazy.
Anybody
I'm
else?
convinced David is what sells this book. The first con I went to, I had all my books out there, and I had some Mad Cave stuff too. And somebody saw Savage Bastard promo material. He ran to the table. He's like, "Are you the guy that wrote Savage Bastards?" I'm like, "No, but I know him." And he walked away really disappointed.
You should have been like, "Yes," and this is my second book.
Wendy would like to know, David,
David,
when are we getting Final Growth?
Ooh.
So Travis suckered me into joining this writing group, right? My life was good. Like I was on track for putting these books out. And then Travis invited me to this secret writers group. And now I'm rethinking everything. No. So I'm looking towards the end of the year. I'm actually rewriting a issue 1. I haven't told Chuck this yet. So Chuck, I'm rewriting an issue 1. I got some great advice from that writing group. And I really think that we moved too fast in this first one. But yes, by the end of this year, I'm planning on having Final Growth come out. Thank you, Wendy.
Awesome.
As well as tons of stuff. I know David is hardworking. David is Heather is editing a couple books for David, and they're texting each other at night. I just go
late at night. A lot of
editing.
He's going.
Right. I just roll with it and just pray that I'm a good enough man. We'll know, how well Cthulhu Invades does. If David's book is coming out faster and I'm sitting on a couch, we'll figure it out.
You don't have to worry until she changes the name in the phone to like Domino's or something. Then you're in trouble. When Domino's is sending a message, "Hey, can you look at the script at like 2:00 in the morning?" There might be an issue.
How much straddling was in those contracts? That's what I'm interested in.
I mean, you're an editor on my other book, so Chuck, how much straddling goes into each one of those contracts.
There was a lot. There was enough that I was like, I don't even have to add any.
Looking forward. Wendy says she's looking forward to it. Love the Short and Collective. Yeah, which is live on Kickstarter, by the way. The Collective, if you haven't got it, it's got a few more days to go. We'll talk about that before we leave. So, Matt, you look like you were going to say something.
Yeah, so for me, I always think it's neat because that's the easiest selling point for the Cthulhu books when we're talking to people is that I always say the curator makes sure to make this where it's a single arc story, even though you've got a bunch of different creative teams, you find a way to make sure that there's actually a cohesive story to end. And that's something that really helps to sell the book because, it's nice to get anthologies where it's, a one-off story here and a one-off story there. But when they're like, oh, I can get a single story arc told through the eyes of 50 people, they're like, that's pretty cool. And I always tell them, hey, look, Oz was a ambitious project. When you get to Wonderland is they blew the freaking lid off this thing because they added in an extra element. And so it was neat. It was neat, seeing which direction each person took with their characters and, trying to make sure that your version of the character, or it wasn't really so much for us because it wasn't like our character was used in a lot of other places, but just seeing where, somebody who had the main on the character took it and then other people had to find a way to work it into their story. I thought that was really neat.
Right. James, exactly. I had a good idea and I turned into a kaiju fight. A lot of people take that approach. When you get big Cthulhu, like you can always tell, like if they have a clear grasp of Cthulhu, if he's kaiju fighting at some point in the book. What is that? You are determined to have one, stubborn bastard. I love kaiju fights. No problem at all. What else? Anybody else get any feedback on that part of the aspect?
I was just going to add
Are you
that.
spoiling the story now? Are you saying that Alice becomes a kaiju and fights Cthulhu? Is that
yes?
Are we spoiling the end?
Yeah.
Dude, that was my story. What the heck?
Right.
I know, it should have been out in the mine.
They shouldn't have things that say "eat me" all around and make you big. Like, I mean, this is just what's gonna happen. Like,
or maybe it's a perspective issue. Maybe Cthulhu drank the drink me bottle, and then they're like the same size.
That'd be so cool.
I was just going to say, anybody that read Oz, Cthulhu Invades Oz, I think that they're going to know that, like, we didn't stick to traditional, Wizard of Oz sort of characters, right? I mean, they did some pretty desperate things at different times, and we saw them in a very different light than we were used to. And so I think people can expect that with Wonderland. But that's what I like about it, is that every creator had that freedom to be able to do that and show a very different side to those characters that we know. So doesn't really answer a question, but more of a comment. But I think that that's what's cool about it, though, is that we can see different sides. And because when you're in that kind of a situation, I mean, people are going to see us in a different way if we're faced with that kind of thing, So that's what I really like about it, and to see everybody's individual takes.
Yeah. And I have the folder open, by the way, if we want to show a couple of pages from the creators here. If you guys want to do that, we can do that in a minute. But
Show
I think
them off, man.
Some comments. Emily had a comment.
I've just been drawing the characters from the Dormouse the whole time.
Let's see them. Come on.
Here we go. Here we have some of Alice here. We have the Dormouse himself and everything, and one of the cards. And then obviously the Mad Hatter.
So cute,
Emily, remind everybody, how old are you again?
I'm 16.
She's this talented. She's going to rule the comic book world soon, right?
That's the plan.
And by the way, Dylan, I haven't. You are a creator, so at the hour mark when I switch out, if you message me and you want to get in, we can make that happen. Let's show some pages. Who wants to show their pages first and talk about them? We'll bring a page up. All right, Kat, we'll take one of your editing pages. Proofing. You think I won't? Ha! I got you. Nice try.
A bunch of those Google Docs notes.
Why do you not like this panel? Let's talk about it.
My God, it's full of apostrophes.
I will tell you, the only thing that you guys should be that I wish I would have said as the creator. Not everybody needs to sit down at the teapot table. Not everybody needs to do that. Most of the people who had major characters were like, we need to sit this down. We need to sit down. Like, we need to get at that table.
Drawing that table every panel. So good. Love it.
All right, so let's show somebody who wants to see this stuff. Actually, let's check where we're at too. Hold on. Doing great. Got a couple $100 there since then. So, thank you guys for supporting. For those who are watching, we're fans. And by the way, if you guys have any questions for any of these guys, please leave it in the comments. It'd be great. So who wants to go first? Dodo. All right, we'll bring up Dodo. So Dodo was one of the earlier, one of the cooler ones, because you had to ask a lot of people what they were doing with their stories because you wanted to include so many other characters, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's really just the one character at the end where it's important, but I'd say, okay, there's all these little esoteric characters from the Caucasus race in like an early chapter, and I just be like the Caucasus race gone very, very wrong. So I had to go and see, is anyone using this character, this character, this character, this character that's in the Caucasus race storyline in the book, and they're like, stop being used. I'm like, perfect.
Let me find a page here. I'm trying to find a page. You get into stuff pretty quick. So
I only had 6
Yeah, 5
pages.
minutes, right? I feel you.
I hit the ground running, and running is what they do best in this story.
That's the wrong share. Hold on, we'll share the right one.
I think it's the first couple pages will set the really good tone.
Yeah, we'll share one. Go ahead. Let's
I
see
think
some
at least
go.
the first page gives you an idea of what's about to go down.
And what I love is your art. The artist that you chose, his style is so unique in the book.
Yeah, Damon did a great job. It's like the world's creepiest kids book.
Right. I mean, look at how beautiful those characters are. Can you guys see that really well? Do I have to make it bigger?
That's Damon Horn, right?
Yeah, Damon Horn. Yeah.
So, funny thing about Damon Horn was I was showing off Cthulhu Invades Oz when we were doing that, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is brilliant! I got to get in on this." He bought the first book and followed along and was so excited. And the whole time he was like, "Hey man, when you guys do this again," and I was like, "Well, the next time we do it is Wonderland." He's like, "Oh my gosh, I have to get in." So he's got an interesting story because Damon started as a fan who then was able to join in as an artist.
Yeah, that seems to be an ongoing thing. There's so many messages that I got today. Hey, just reminding you that I really want to do Neverland. I was like, all right, cool. Like, we're not doing that right now. We're doing Neverland.
We're all so excited.
I think that's smoke effect for the title.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's a great page. I love all these animals. Like, I want to know all their stories, which is great. And the marker, I think, is really good. And he did all this traditional, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
But
When you
here at the
do,
bottom panel, that Dodo's about to do some sick shit.
Right. Just clean
When
up
you
his
do 6
his
issues,
feathers. Clean up
when you
his
do 6
feathers.
issues in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who else is next? Who else we got? Chuck, you want to go, Chuck? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you've got stuff, I would love to.
Let's do it. Let's see. We'll just now first page is really hard for you. How about this page?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on. Tell us how. First off, these
Very
colors are killer.
Yes.
I was going to say that. I love the colors.
I am blessed with an amazing team. Like I said, Chris, Shauna, and Will are just on another level. And yeah, man, I really wanted to play with a lot of different things. And of course, I did a bunch of research. So we got the Migos. And what's cool with the Migos, if you can see that their colors are changing. And so I always tell everyone my weak spot in all of comics is colors. It's just not something I'm as great at. I don't understand color theory as much and whatnot. And I'm trying to learn, but it is still my weak spot. And so when I was writing this one thing I found out about the Migos is that they thank you so much. What I found out about the Migos is their colors changes depend on their emotions. So what I did was I was writing in how they were emotionally feeling in each panel so that Shauna could then take that and do with it as she wanted. So I never told her how to color it. It was always just they're feeling this and this is what they say.
I like that, Chuck. That's cool.
It's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, it was.
Chuck.
This was a ton of research by the whole team to just kind of get everything just right and really just make something that hopefully people are just going to get really excited by.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, who's next? Let me see. Come on, raise a hand.
I'm more than willing to go. Yeah.
All right, Peter. All right, let's go. Yours is a little bit harder to find because it's in a cards folder.
It says 4 of clubs actually. I think
okay. Yours is 4 clubs. Okay.
Yeah, you'll see mine has quite a few subcategories because I keep myself very. But yeah, so I mean, it was the very first thing I had in my head when we first started talking about it was you take it's actually 4 of spades. I know it says clubs on the thing, but it was just the spades, the gardeners being pressed into service and digging this trench in front of the hedgerows to keep them protected. And it's got what Children of Yig kind of making an appearance in it. It's got a dimensional shambler in there, kind of towards the bend.
Show a second page and show your monster.
Yeah, Lauren Warren Brown was the artist on this, and he does love the gray wash. So it was just absolutely perfect. So you have this, the whole story is kind of being told sort of like World War I letter home kind of a thing. So, you know, the four is writing home to what effectively translates to his loving shrubbery. And about what has been happening since they've been pressed into service. And, you know, Warren just killed it with the gray wash on there. Emily helped me out with a very little bit of color because clearly red is pretty important to the story. So every time you kind of see something red happen, it's really something that he kind of really vividly remembers as he's writing this letter home.
Schindler's List with cards. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, who's next?
Okay.
Who's that? Emily?
Yeah. I also have concept work that I can share too.
Oh, all right. So let's do a finished page, and then we'll do a concept page.
Okay.
Yeah, so the concepts are probably actually there.
We got them here. So
yeah, because I have some of the concepts there, and I have others too.
Yeah. Well, it was at one point in time, I think you were looking for something to line the notes in the it was like a 12-pager or something that you were showing at conventions, and so I uploaded those so Jerome could stick them in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you went to a very cartoony approach, which I think was really, really cool.
Yeah, my writer, he asked for a very like Looney Tunes Warner Brother-esque style, and that's like my thing.
That's your wheelhouse right outside of Disney Ducks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is your writer?
Jason Fewer.
Who?
Yeah, Jason Fewer.
Famous man in his own right. As you see, the table, very important.
Very
yes.
important.
I added the patches too. I hope you guys like that. Thought it had a little flavor.
Got some stuff there. But yeah, I think go ahead.
I have I can just pull it up on my phone, the other concept art, if you want to see it.
Yeah. Let's make it big.
Okay, let's see.
We're gonna go to this, and then I'm gonna make it big.
Okay, so basically, before he asked for the style, like the Warner style, I looked up what a Dormouse looked like, and I just like straight up just like drew that. So it was almost this round and kind looking, and I just thought you guys should know that. Then I had a more solidified concept for him that I did digitally. You can't really see the sketches there, but and then after that, I plotted down where all of their colors should be when I was coloring the whole thing. And I want you to know that when I color comics, I indeed do this. So I can remember where the colors are. That's what I've got.
Nice. That's awesome. I love to see the artist approach, especially someone who, that you can share it so eloquently. Like we talk to artists, in interviews, Chuck and myself, and they're just like, I don't know, I just put it on the paper. Like now, like they can't tell you how they did it. They just
concepts are my favorite part. It's like doing the work, but like just like the first part of it.
Right.
Just the first part. Yeah. You never have to finish anything. It's fantastic.
You don't have to finish anything.
See, the way she explains it is so helpful because the way they end up explaining it, I'm like, I got to do an hour-long show, guys. Like, could you please tell me a little bit more? So I could do an hour with you there, Emily, but a lot of these people are like, yeah, no, I just drew and I had a good time. I like the character. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
I could get
that was 2 minutes.
I could get into shape language if you want. I got you. I'm so good at filling time. Believe me.
So the next person
English
go to is this one. Hold on. Hold on. I think we're good.
English is bad enough. I don't want to learn shape language.
I know those
guys. Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that.
So what I love about this, and anybody who knows JW, he's hugely influenced by the X-Men. If you do not see an X-Men page in this, I don't know what to do. Yeah. Talk about it, Matt.
Even the insets have insets.
Oh yeah. So I think that the color style of Chuck's is very similar to this.
Yeah.
The knave is accused of stealing the queen's tarts, and we wanted to take this a little different direction. And the knave is pretty pissed off at the fact that his time is being wasted by the queen, just as the queen thinks that her time is being wasted. And you see, there's a shadow in the figure in the shadows there because the knave has been told to get away from the queen. And he's like, well, fine, I'll leave, and I'll go decide where I go and who I want to complain to about being mistreated. Go from there. And so that was the angle we took with the knave there. He tries to do all kinds of misdirection. He's accused of stealing the tarts. He's like, well, did anybody, see if Humpty Dumpty did it? He fell off of that wall. Maybe Humpty Dumpty did it. Did anybody? He said maybe the cook did it. So he's doing his best to find a way to defend himself in court and find reasonable doubt. And he does a good job of making sure that his case is sold to the queen, who's the accuser and also the judge.
Nice. Yeah, I love these pages. Like we said earlier, I think these are JW's best work. I think that's good. Anybody else? That looks Jackie.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. All right, Babe. I think it's your turn. You want to do you?
Yeah. Okay.
I think Chuck was trying to answer Babe, and he was really sad that it was you. Sorry, Chuck.
I want to do Dave.
Yeah,
all right.
So there's the gang.
And you have a cameo. Talk about this cameo for Oz people.
Oh yeah. I see the cute little dog. That's Toto. So at the end of Oz, Toto joined along, and there he is. So he's back. He's a good boy. But yeah, so yeah, they're having a tea party, and again, like they all came to get the tea, get the hot goss, and so they end up just getting an earful because she just completely talks crap about everybody, and so they get a bit aggravated with her at the end.
I like how she has a bust too. Like that's very impressive.
Yeah. So again, Benita Betrell with In Living Color, that skit. It's just this is what I had in my mind, and so when I described her to Martha, I was like, she has hair rollers in her hair. I want that to be a part of like the top of her teapot, and so if you get a closer look, like she actually has hair curlers, but they look like really more fancy design there, but that's what they are. And
she's like my brain was going, she's like a malevolent Mrs. Potts.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I it's a fun story. I love it. I think it's super fun, and I love seeing Silly Cthulhu every time. Like I love it. It's a throwback, especially I had Russell on last night. Russell loves Silly Cthulhu, so I think it's fun to do that now and then.
I know you guys commented a lot on James art being some of the best. I think this is some of Martha's best art too, by far. I think that this is some of the best art ever created here.
Yeah.
That's great, and I'm working on a book with her now that I'll have coming out. It's called Pup Van Winkle. It's coming out later this year, but you can see her different style of art evolves, and so I'm glad you said that. I'm sure that she would like to hear that, and same with Pup Van Winkle too. Like she's really you're seeing a different style, which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you got next? Oh, we got Stony. By the way, if you guys, we're coming up to the hour mark soon. If you guys have to go, let me know privately in the private chat for the audience. And if you want to come in, message me on Facebook so I can give you the invite. But yeah, Walrus and the Carpenter. Check out this. This is so good. Like it's like when you read Lock and Key. Nobody can see it. There we go. Yeah. Look at things.
Nice. I like.
Yeah, Ben knocked it out of the park. He really did. He makes me look good. He had a couple of different designs for Carpenter and Walrus that we went over, and these are the ones we settled on. It was rough because I liked both of them for different reasons. But these are the ones we settled on, and I really loved the way all of this came out. some of the extra stuff he decided to throw in there, and I just really loved it. So I came into Cthulhu Invades kind of sideways as a colorist in the first one. So I thought for this one, I also had to go against the rules. And instead of forcing them to pick a side, just like the original Walrus and Carpenter, the story's kind of set outside of the rest of the story and Wonderland and what's going on. Yeah, scroll down and look at the bottom of this. The stuff that he does at the end and at the top sometimes, this framework, I fucking love it. I think it's so cool.
And it's kind of funny. You've got the other you have got both sea tails, right?
Yeah.
Because in the Oz, it was the big sea tail. I mean, I guess Tin Man goes out there too. But yeah. Anybody else have any comments?
Besides how much I love the story, no.
It's gorgeous.
I love the story.
All right. Let's go. Let's see who else we got. You did. So we're only showing one. Which one you want to show? Part 1 or part 2?
Let's go ahead and show some part 1.
Okay. Start right at the beginning.
Yeah. So here, this is my boy Jezel de Jesus. He mainly does like manga art, does like t-shirt designs. He's actually doing a web cartoon right now, webtoon kind of a comic, but I just love how he brings this whole manga feel to it, even with the traditional like shadowed eyes and everything. If we go up to the top, even the mailbox here, I'm kind of trying to show that whole duality, right? They've got 2 front doors, 2 mailboxes, 2 windows out the front. He did such a good job with that. So even this, I didn't even tell him to do, but this pot that he throws at him has the 2 flowers in it. And you can kind of see it it's kind of a prelude to what's coming, right? Because one flower is not doing so good.
Right.
So,
that's great.
It's a lot of just great metaphor in there in such a short story.
And this bottom panel over here is so anime. I love
so
it.
anime. Absolutely anime.
Let's show the second page. Let's we got a flashback.
Yeah. And it's straight anime, of course. Especially this scene right here in the middle, right?
Right.
So I love that you see those tones and you instantly know it's a flashback. Like comic fans don't even have to be told. We're like, oh yeah, that's a flashback. And I just I love that. It's so simple and it's traditional perfect. I love it.
And I'll tell you, he was the one that came up with the color idea to make it the flashback, right? Because I said, hey, let's talk about a border or something that depicts it as a flashback, and he's like, how about I just change these colors to these muted browns? I was like, oh, that would be fantastic.
And I love a table where people have tea. Seems to be very important.
You didn't give us a limit on how many tea parties we could use. So
and apparently I need to do that. Apparently that's something important, I guess. All right.
I'll be interested to see how many hidden crocodiles there are in Neverland.
And who else do we got? And have we not showed somebody's story yet? I think we got everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you have extra stories, Chuck, and stuff. All right, so what we're going to do is some people are going to come in. We're going to switch some people out. But let's go around the room if you guys have other things to promote. I know a couple people do, so let's get those out of the way real quick. I'll try to bring up yours right now. Daniel, if you want to talk about it.
Okay, it's Night Wrath. It's a 90s tinge dark anti-hero book. A poor, unconfident man gets superpowers and manages them with this giant, massive brute full of confidence. And there's a weird juxtaposition as, the two psyches kind of war with each other. Like the two personalities kind of clash within, as well as, dealing with the fact he's kind of being chased by a mercenary army right now because they were the ones who kind of created him. And it's live.
It's almost funded.
Yeah. So this is a really fun book. It's kind of this kind of 90s feel, though, so in the present. And I will say it's going to be more connected to American Dreams, which is my other book.
So I love it. You've got a huge, great preview on if you want to check it out. We'll put it in the Kickstarter at some point.
Yeah, I think I linked you guys the Cthulhu Invades Wonderland today in my most recent update.
Nice. Yeah, but is it still early bird too, right? Oh, today.
Oh no, early bird. It's like the early bird for the single issue is done. The bundle ends at midnight. And I added just 2 new rewards I added today, which are not depicted on here because now I have the American Dreams and Night Raft bundle, where you can get all 5 issues of American Dreams and the first issue either digitally or physically. And if you get the physical bundle, you get the digital copies gratis.
Nice. It's a good book. I'm excited. If you like superheroes, definitely recommend buying it.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has got something going on Kickstarter? And Heather's got some stuff. No tea party in my story, as it should be. All this art is insane. All right, Chuck, we'll let you go first.
Yeah, okay, so I got a bunch. Obviously, a bunch of us are all doing and a part of Russell Nolte and Wannabe Press's Cthulhu, It's Hard to Spell, 3. But then I also have a book on Zoop. Yes, that's a thing.
Zoop?
Yep, it's called Shuffle, and it's really great through Arledge Comics. And then I also have Chris Tomasma's Clarity Girl and Base Force. And then I also have, because why only do 1 or 2 things when you can just be overworked and insane? I also have Immortal Era issue 6, which is on Kickstarter right now from Edward Davis.
All right, well, I only have time to grab one of those, so I'll grab Immortal Era because that's the last one and it's the easiest one to grab.
Yeah.
Wow, you were doing a lot of stuff, my friend.
Yeah. I try, man. I try.
Immortal Era, love this book. So you edited 6. You came in to kind of help out.
Yeah.
So are you doing a lot of story editing, or are you doing a lot of? I know that you do it all, but for this particular case, what did he need from you?
So for this one, he already had the art going, but I did go through and there was some spots where I was like, actually, man, you could probably use a couple extra pages. We could use some extra work here. And he had no problem kind of adding to that and doing that. And I didn't mind doing the extra work of, going over those extra pages and all that kind of stuff. Like I didn't have that issue. So I did get a good chunk of all sorts of different type of editing on this one. So it was a really good one. And actually, I've been brought in as of issue 8. I'll be the ongoing editor for that series.
Nice. Not 7 though.
No. He already 7 is already was moving forward and already had someone else, and so he brought me in after that.
So he was kind of testing out editors, And okay, cool. Yeah. No harm, no foul.
No, not at all.
Oh, I mean,
I've taken more than my fair share of editing work from other people. That if they take a little bit from me, I'm not allowed to say anything. So that's fine. It's karma.
All right, and Heather and myself have this. Heather, you want to talk about the Puck Van Winkle a little bit more?
Yeah. So this is the Collective comic book store over in Altamont Springs in the Orlando area. They have a wonderful comic store. And so last year, Chuck's wife, Wendy, her story, a bit of her story was in the first book. So I think it's really cool that I have the first 5 pages of my story that's coming out. I talked about it for a second, Pup Van Winkle. So there it is. It's the first 5 pages of my story, and which is actually a flashback. And so, so that's it. It's the first place where my story is actually coming out in print.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's very cool. We're very close to funded, but here's something really cool. Because they're a comic store and they're doing an anniversary, if you live in the Orlando area, you can come pick up a copy this Saturday for that day only, which is pretty cool. So if you want to come to Orlando and pick it up, you can. I'm sure they'll sell you some online. Well, I don't think they will. They'll make you go to the Kickstarter. So you got to be in Orlando to get it. But yeah, if you want to get it and you want to get it signed by me and I can't sign it. I mean, I guess I'm in for project manager, but Heather's going to be there. Martha's going to be there. Jamie Jones, Joe Quinn, a whole bunch of the creators are going to be there. So absolutely check that out.
Before we go, Does Katrina have anything going? I'd like to hear what she has.
I do. Caleb Doucette's Neverland.
Okay, yeah, let's put Neverland. You're the editor for that?
I'm the editor on that series. Yep.
Let's talk about it. So, because he's got Neverland, do I have to fight him or something if I want?
I don't think so. But hey, I'm not against internet wars.
Okay.
More straddling.
There can be only one. No strategy in this one.
Or is this just one big Cthulhu pitch? Like he just went all in.
Maybe we're looking for, the next book.
So what do we got here?
It's been a while since I've worked on this one, I'm afraid. But it's a new take on Neverland. Very much based on obviously Peter Pan, and also oh my god, Never-Ending Story, a lot of nostalgia type things with that. And I believe, if my memory serves me right, it happens during the pandemic.
Yeah. We see the mask here in one of the panels.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a beautiful piece of art. He just funded, which is great.
Yep.
Some cool stuff.
Super excited. I believe we have about 7 days left on this one.
And you can get all of his books. It's
lots of choices, guys, and obviously good shipping.
I think most of us have backed a Caleb project or two over our time. He's just done so much stuff. Yeah. He didn't even give you. Where's your name?
He did not, and I just realized that myself. So I'll be sending Caleb a message here.
Yeah, you're sitting here promoting it.
Why am I not on the Kickstarter page?
All right, who else?
Start demanding rewrites.
That's right. I'm sorry. There's going to be there's a penalty fee.
That's right.
For forgetting me.
So Matt, what is it?
So I'll send Daniel out.
So Matt or Stoney, what do you got? You got anything?
You can go first, Stoney, if you want, and then I'll take it after that.
I was just going to say, I haven't really got to sit down and look at Facebook, but did I see Wendy launch something today? I haven't really gotten to look at it, but I thought I saw.
I think she was showing like the preview for her Kickstarter.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's up yet, but she's got the preview page.
Yeah, just the preview right now.
Okay.
Yeah, which is super exciting.
Thank you. Absolutely.
All right, Matt.
So we just finished up the Kickstarter for Heirs of Isildur, The Perilous Prospects, Book 1. The inks, as of yesterday, are all done. The letters, the first pass on the letters are all done on that. It's a 48-page book, so it's definitely not a small little book. 9 p.m. on Sunday, Steph and I will be on doing our post-campaign incentive drawing, so there's going to be some swag that gets given away, including a custom Michael's Traveler's Pouch from GB Logos with dice. That's about a $90 value, which is going to be a pretty wild thing they're giving away. Misfits Clubhouse #1 will be out through Scout second week of May. That's going to be really excited about that. Frontiers 2 will be coming out as well. And we do have an ash can for Misfits Clubhouse that's going to be coming out through Scout. Also just announced we're going to have a roll at Spookala in Ocala, which is going to be a pretty intense horror festival that's coming up. I know Guillermo from What They Do in the Shadows is going to be there. Ice Nine Kills is going to be there. They're going to be doing some an acoustic set. I'll be on stage with them doing some interview things with them. And just announced today, Corey Taylor from Slipknot will also be there and he'll have an acoustic set and be doing some Q&A as well. And Steph just had some articles for Creepy Kingdom and Horror Geek Life, movie reviews, and then retrospectives on Evil Dead 2 and 300. If you are on our email list, we have links to that. If not, go to my Facebook page, and there is a link to all these different things if you want to get.
But Matt, for fans of What We Do in Shadows, his name is not Guillermo; it's Gizmo. Everybody knows that.
Listen here,
this fucking guy.
All right. Well, I love you guys, but the first hour is over. We're going to invite a whole new crew in here. Some people are taking off. So if you need to take off, please say your goodbye. We're going to go around. I think I see who else? Daniel has to leave at 11:15. You can stay for a little bit. I think you're good. A little bit. Emily, you got to go?
Yep, I got to go.
All right. Well, we love it. So say where they can find you.
You can find me at Emily Risette on either YouTube or Instagram. That's where I'm most active.
Awesome. Well, thank you for hanging out with us, Emily.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Bye, Emily.
See you, Emily.
I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go take care of our son who's awake at 11 o'clock at night.
He is. Yeah, he's awake. Yes, I can hear him. So, goodbye, everybody. I will see you. Thanks for everything. It's gonna be great. It's already great. Yeah, I will see you guys soon.
Well, I'm best editor on this call. That's right.
Bye.
Oh, that's fighting words.
Good night.
All right. Good night. Is it weird to say I love you, or if it's your wife, or no? I mean, she's gone.
It's too late now.
And David, you've got to go as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I just want to give a shout out to Stoney's Arms. Absolutely kept me entertained this whole time. Looking great,
right.
my friend. I love seeing everybody. And please back the book. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Love you, David.
Bye, David.
All right. So message me right now if you guys want those extra slots. We're going to keep going for a little bit. We are at hour 2, hanging out, trying to get us to that halfway mark. Wouldn't it be really cool if we can get to halfway?
Yeah.
So
Stoney
Travis,
just
is this
at you.
Travis, is this your
I think I'm gonna bounce.
yeah.
So,
Travis, is this your second most funded Kickstarter right now in the first day?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, I think it's the highest day. Absolutely.
Yeah, highest day. But I mean, but even in one day, this is like Cthulhu Invades Oz was your most funded Kickstarter ever.
Correct.
And this is now your second most funded Kickstarter, and you did it in less than a day, right?
Right. Yeah. It's good.
Impressive.
It's good.
It's amazing.
Stoney, you got to go?
yeah. Unfortunately, I've got stuff I gotta do.
This was only an hour podcast. I really thank everybody for coming. But all right,
He's just feeling a little lost without David. That's all.
I'm going to see you.
Yeah, he's missing Devoni.
Yeah. What was that, Travis?
You're going to be around. Like I want to be a bro. Come here. Come up here with me.
Hey, I think Stoniano. I like that one much better. The Stoniano is the ship name.
I like Stovid because I would totally catch that virus. I would catch Stovid. I would catch Stovid every day and twice on Sundays.
I'll make sure that I'll take pictures of the inevitable sketches that happened in the room next to me and post them. Yes, I guarantee you.
The beard on their babies will be amazing.
David and I's beard stuck together like Velcro. Yes.
Michael just said he got done talking to Abby and Lena. They'll be on Comics and Pop Tarts podcast tomorrow night. Awesome. See, I like that when podcasts are happening about Cthulhu that we're not even part of. That is what I like to hear. But Stoney, I guess if you'd like to portray everything about our friendship and everything we've ever done together, you can leave, I guess.
I'm planning to be here many, many more times over the next month, and I will stay later in future times, I promise.
Good. Are you going to say that you love David and all of them, or just
I do. In every single one, yes. I'm here to promote David and I. That's
right.
Go color something.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Have a good one, then.
All right, we have the second crew here. Go ahead.
Well, before we bring someone else on, I'd like to do something. So I want everyone to know Travis and I are super tight. I love this guy like a brother. What I would do for any of my campaigns, I would do for his. So if you guys watched Belial 2, when we did our first night, we were at like 1,500 and somebody was like, if you get to $2,000, what will you do? And I was like, there's no way, but I'll do this crazy thing. So I'm going to throw down the gauntlet for this one.
All right.
If this show, by the end of this show tonight, we get to $15,000, 50%, I will chug a full 2 ounces of hot sauce. That's an absolute. If we get to the $15,000, I'll do it.
Oh, well, all right.
You literally just.
If I do it for me, I do it for you.
Faces freak out in exactly the same way. You said that we both were like,
Did you not see the look of horror on my face?
That's what I'm saying. You and me both. We just both went complete horror show. At
I
the
was
same
just great. Like I glanced
All right,
over. They're both
we've
just
got
like, oh my God.
$900 to go. So if you guys want that to happen, and by the way, if you guys talk to Jerome at any point, please let him know. Like, it's not a lot of money to just fund it in one day. Like, it would be really cool. And Canada has free money, so I don't understand why he just doesn't throw it in the campaign.
We've been talking about it all day, actually.
All right, so hold on. And David Lee, you can come on if you'd like, if you're feeling up to it. But hold on, I've got to get my video ready. You guys may not have enjoyed it, but I enjoyed the hell out of shipping off to Boston. So that's going to happen again. Because it was
It's not that we don't like it. It's that
DCMA, dude.
Yeah, man. It's that your video is going to get seen by a lot less people.
just for a second, it'll be fine.
It doesn't last for a second.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll
be fine.
Listen,
It's
we're
all
doing
good.
this whether
We're
you
doing
like
it.
it or not.
We're doing it. Jerome was in the background. What happened to Jerome? Jerome, get the fuck back in here. What are you
Oh
doing?
my God, Jerome, come on.
Jerome, get your shit together.
Come on, J Spot. Let's do this.
All right. I'm playing it, and I don't give a shit.
Grammarly helps you work more efficiently, which makes accomplishing your work goals easier.
So now Grammarly, which is from what I hear from one creator, is a fantastic editor, and you should give them credit in your credits. Fact, that happened.
No.
It did. Funny story. We'll get back on that in a minute. So we have a couple amazing people here. So we've got to get to this. Come on, we'll fast forward. Breaking open the Baileys for this one. Maybe I can't open it. What's going on here?
I've finished my drink already.
We have Kira coming in the house.
Yo.
Brother James. In the Canadian Exchange. Jerome. All up in this his house. Shipping off to Boston. Woo!
Love the intro music, Travis.
What's that?
I love the intro music.
I love St. Patty's Day, so I'm all in. So I don't know what's going on. So
Holiday / birthday, I get it. Or no, birthday is at the end of the end of the Kickstarter, right?
Right.
I got it mixed up there for a second.
We could do a Tyler Carpenter. We could just get to a certain point, get to fund it, and then just quit. Just
cancel it.
Though according to that whole debate, that was over 10 grand. So since we passed that, are we allowed to quit? We need Tyler in here to address this whole thing.
He actually has a show going on. I'm like, what do you have, like 1.5 viewers right now?
1.5.
So,
Chuck, be honest. Is that one of you? You've got like a little panel off to the side where you're watching him right now.
My wife is watching him on multiple screens. She's watching us and him, so you know.
So yeah, we do have one more spot. So Davey, you're more than welcome to come in. So Kara and James, tell us what you did. What did you do in this?
We argued, is what we did.
The arguments. Actually, it went on for hours, Travis.
It went on for. James told me about it, and of course, I was thrilled. I was so happy. He's like, "Do you want to do, Cthulhu Invades Wonderland with me?" And I was like, "Yes." And I immediately had like 30 ideas. James shot down so many of them.
Well, it's because
you shot down 29 of them and you went with one.
Yeah. It was a mixture of our ideas. I had something I really wanted to use, the poetry I really wanted to use, and he had the kaiju fight he really wanted to use. So it was just creating a balance for that.
It actually didn't matter to me what characters I got.
Yeah, we ended up with the White Knight and the Red Knight.
Yeah. It didn't really matter. At first I wanted Tweedledee and Tweedledum because I wanted to make them.
Yeah, that's who I wanted first too.
Yeah, and once I heard that somebody else had got them, I was like, what are two other characters that are in the story at the same time? Oh, there's a lot of them. Which one has weapons? Aha, the knights. And that's pretty much how it went.
We have David, and somebody else is trying to get in. Who else is trying to get in? I want to know.
Knocking on your door.
No, Davey's here.
I know. I was waving to Davey. It's been a while since I've seen him.
Hold on.
Hey, if there's somebody else that's trying to get in, like I said, I can jump. I want to at least be on for a little bit so I could be on with the greatest
Daniel said he had to
Canadian
go.
bearded hero.
We'll let Daniel go and see who this person is because I want to know. Whoever you are, you better not just leave that empty spot. I'm going to be so freaking pissed.
No, that's I swear.
All right. Love you, Daniel.
Bye.
Come back.
Bye, Daniel.
All right.
Oh, he's got
See
the
who it
hot
is.
sauce ready for you, Chuck.
Cholula!
Everybody's
Whoever
now
you
waiting
are,
with bated breath.
whoever you are, you better try to get back in here.
Feel violence is brewing.
Well,
We
we're
got the
talking
Baileys
about
open.
madness and chaos, right?
The show Who Wears
Well,
the
of
Pants on the
course.
Street. Heather opened it up for me, so we're good. And we do straight Baileys, by the way.
And it's St. Patrick's Day, and I don't drink. I always feel so left out. Well, not really, because I don't care. But
You're right here with me. I don't drink. either, so we're good to go.
I finished this very exciting cherry vanilla Coke Zero. So
yeah, that's about me too. It's like I'm having a
Very
nice Diet
exotic.
Coke, everybody.
Water.
Very
I had
exotic
water.
goblet of water.
Yeah, that's as far as I got. Water.
So
My
you
branded
guys, so
goblet of
Karen James, tell everyone what your character is. What you guys did. Who did you do?
We did the white knight and the red knight, right? I got the colors right.
Yes. Oh,
Okay, good.
yes.
We had to do something with two characters essentially because there was no way James and I were coming together on whether it was going to be madness or loyalty that the characters went for. There had to be two because, of course, I was automatically like, madness, let's go with madness. And he's like, absolutely not. We have to have some nobility. We have to have sacrifice and all this stuff. And I'm like, damn it, James.
I would not let her turn the entire thing into one big worship the Cthulhu. I already did a story with a chicken that was worshiping Cthulhu. I didn't need to
And I
make knights
encouraged
worship
him
Cthulhu.
to do that. Like,
I like the Wheelers. The Wheelers were cool.
Yeah, that was a good.
Yes, that was a
Oh,
good
I know. I love
story.
that. I specifically did that story just to creep her out.
oh my God, he totally did. He would just message me at like 10:30 at night and be like, Screech. And I'm like, I hate you. Stop doing this to me.
But the Red Knight and the White Knight, basically, they were in confrontation in the book, and it was always this weird, not really fight. It was like almost a Monty Python. I wish I could swing a sword correctly. Fight in the stories, and that's how they were portrayed in the books. But Kira wrote a poem that has a lot of really serious undertones about, being like literally having a life that breeds you into madness.
Right.
And somewhere along the line while we were doing it, one of the knights transformed visually transformed him into my dead father, which is the White Knight.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell, James? That's Dad.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, the story kind of got different undertones, and she had to like move her poem around to make it fit, because once I had gotten the action shots in like a certain order, I was like, nope, not changing. You fix your poem.
Yeah, that's pretty much always the fight we have. It's who's changing what to deal with the other person.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. But it really ended up working out well. I mean, there's scenes where the knights are fighting in some unexpected ways. I was able to break panels to show like the knights falling apart, and I was extremely happy with how Cthulhu ends up looking at the end of the story. So visually, I was absolutely pleased with everything that came out, and I haven't gotten to see the awesome colors that were that.
Oh, I thought you had seen them. They're awesome. They look really
actually
good.
Travis could have shown them to me. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he's colorblind. What's the point?
I was supposed to say, what is the point? Because it was mostly red and green, which you can't see.
But let's talk about the next person who's in here, the Canadian Destroyer. Jerome, a lot of people ask me, like on the streets and around, they're like, what does Jerome do for Orange Cone Productions? And I've never been able to give them an answer. So if you have any answer, that would be fantastic. So I just know how to respond.
I don't know. I'm just hanging out.
I thought it was something like run the shop. Isn't that what you told me the other day?
We don't have a website shop like it's down. Like, I haven't
Keep the
fixed
whole
it.
thing afloat. You know.
You told me about the program that you got some money from government for hiring some people. I don't know. It's vague.
Jerome's our foreign exchange student.
Yeah. Hire Canadian
The feds of
income taxes.
And Davey Lee. Davey, he wanted to be in this book so bad when I was trying to put it together. He would message me on the daily, like, are you good? Did you like the script? Can I be in it? Like, do you like this artist? What are you going on? I'm like, you don't understand. I don't care that much, but I care a lot. But like, not right now.
Well, you should. I mean, we were at the bar after having signed the first book, and the stuff he was saying. I got kicked out of a different bar because I was Canadian. That's right. I was so mad. I was already like a little on my way, and I was like, "This is like a form of racism." I'm like, okay. They kicked me out because I was Canadian. That's right. So pissed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stuff that Davey was offering to do just so that he could get the spot, it was nuts.
I mean, that bathroom was pretty busy, so
it was a very busy, especially after that lady. Especially after that lady in the flower dress showed up.
Yeah.
So, is there any straddling involved, Chuck? I know Dave's not doing it, but was there any straddling that was offered?
Yes. Yeah, that's my specialty.
That was a good night. But yeah, Davey showed up. He really wanted to. He's the person who does the work to try to get in the book. Like, he worked really hard to get in this book.
Thank you.
And by the way, the lady in the red dress wasn't a lady. But he didn't mind. So,
just so you guys know, Matt's here, so we've got to be a little bit more professional because, I mean, God damn it, look at him. He's gorgeous. He makes us all look to shame. Like he like has beard oil or some shit, or like combs his hair. I don't know what he does. Like, look, I wear a hat because I don't want to do that.
I only comb my hair for the StreamYards.
I've accepted that I just look like a tussled anime boy all the time, so this is my look.
Isn't that the brand name of like the coloring you use?
Tussled anime boy? It should be.
So Matt, Davey, tell us about your story a little bit. And by the way, Chuck, Davey has hot sauce as well, so he's all in.
Got that Chipotle. What is it? Cholula. Got that Cholula. I'll do it with you if we get the.
We'll do our shots together at 15,000.
Tell you what. I have.
Hey, what's the countdown? Where are we right now?
I have some mule sauce. the mule sauce when you do sticker mule. I'll do the same thing. We'll get it.
Come on, guys! Don't do that to yourself. Come on.
It's a thing I do every day. I don't care. That's how I start my day. But for
it will start your day.
Yes.
Here's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. We went up a couple. Awesome.
So yeah, what story do you got? Who do you got?
All right, so got the Red Queen, and I was really interested in doing that story because I am a big fan of chess. I'm not very good, but I like to lose on it, and so I was excited to do a chess story, and I really had inspiration from Jonathan Hickman's story in the last one, just to give a character like, one drive, one goal. And that's all I did with the Red Queen was pick a drive for her, which wants to please Cthulhu, who has invaded Wonderland, obviously. And I didn't think she'd be too happy with her Red King husband because he's been sleeping the entire time. So she's ready to do some traitorous deeds and fights the White Army to please Cthulhu. And I put in a lot of chess lore inside there. The story name I'm still not happy with, but if anybody has any ideas, it's probably too late. But
it's not printed. It's not too late yet, but
okay, well, we could do that. It's not going to be as good as it could be because Chuck never gave me any edits that he promised, but that's how it is.
I can give them to you right now.
All right, let's go. Send them straight to Jerome.
Let me help you. You did that in 2021. It is now 2022. His rates have gone up
considerably.
So
no, I locked in my rates.
No, you did not. You did not, sir.
You know what? But my rates are really good.
Oh.
So,
And you won't make me do things in a barroom bathroom.
Right. There's that.
You use the word "make you" pretty loose there.
Yeah,
I remember a lot of
sounded
more willing.
I only mentioned it once, really quick, and you were like, "Okay."
I would use the word coaxing. Coaxing more like that.
Hey, he just told me I was doing it. Like, that's how James and I work together. We don't tell each other about stuff. We're just like, hey, you know what you're doing?
I'm going to be honest, Kara. I was not aware you were in the book until one day.
At least you kept me in.
It's all good.
I know.
I'm not going to complain how I got in.
I know everybody's used to me trying to be a one-man army, but I usually include something that Kira's done in any project that I do.
Oh, that's nice.
I love using his art too. It's in all of my, I have his art tattooed on me, for God's sake. I have the cover of the first book he did for me tattooed on my arm. So I love using his art in everything that I do. It's a really cool thing we've done for several years now, and it's really enjoyable.
Nice. That's awesome. So Matt, Matt is one of my favorite interviewers. I love to go on a show. If you ever want to know how I feel about a project, like behind the scenes, listen to his podcast because I always share the dirt. So if you ever want to know the dirt on like Voodoo Nations or Expired or Broke Down, like I share the dirt. So Matt, what did you do? I'm so excited. You were one of the people who I first reached out to that I wanted to be part of this project. If you guys don't know, for anybody who's this is not an open invite. Regardless of what people think and how many Neverland shit they send me, it's not open invite. You can't just send me something and get approved. But Matt, I actually asked, if you remember correctly, I asked if you want to be part of it.
Yeah, it was. You asked me to stay after the interview we did for the podcast, where that was the first offer to be part of it. So originally, I had designs on the caterpillar. Which I didn't get, but I was able to fold him into the story. I had this idea of the caterpillar sort of being like a 1970s Marvel Tony Stark like weapons dealer, and so what I did was I kept him as sort of a weapons dealer, and the main character of my story is the Queen of Hearts. And she needs a little advantage in her war, and that's where her battle, and that's where she gets a little bit of help from the caterpillar, who deals her some extra weapons.
Well, that's nice of the caterpillar.
That's
nice.
So dark. I love it.
I
do a lot of dark stuff.
I got a funny story about the caterpillar. Travis, I introduced you to Colleen.
Don't know her, but continue.
she also pitched a story for the caterpillar. Okay, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that part.
Okay, but before she pitched that story, she messaged me and she told me that for her the caterpillar is the Iron Man of the Wonderland. So great minds think alike, right? I guess.
And Chuck was like, "No, this guy gets
on.
No,
this is Tommy Chuck." Raising the bar.
Yeah. That's how I do it.
But yeah, it was really interesting. Colleen was actually an interesting thing. We can talk about Colleen for a second. Colleen, she had the caterpillar. Who else did she pitch?
I don't remember the others. I remember only the caterpillar.
Yeah, she pitched 2 characters, and I really like Colleen's work, and I really wanted to get her in and who she came with. And I was just like, hey, I scared people away from Mad Hatter. I don't know why, but like nobody submitted to Mad Hatter, which was the funniest thing. And the White Rabbit. Like when the original pitch came out and the people who I picked, they didn't pitch to White Rabbit or Mad Hatter. And I was like, really?
Well, for me, I didn't want to draw tables over and over.
Right. I think
Seriously, that was your issue.
Cards. It's just like, oh, nobody else is going to pick cards,
No, I just assumed the Mad Hatter was going to be literally next to Alice, the hottest character. So I didn't even bother thinking of a Mad Hatter story.
Not only that, he totally would have been for the side for chaos, and you would have hated writing that. So
I probably would have had him and the rabbit talking about something. The dormouse make a comment. Both of them get pissed off, and kaiju fight.
Yep, sounds about right.
But yeah, it was really interesting. And then so I quietly told Jerome, because Jerome really wanted Colleen in. They were partners. They were doing some stuff. He was kind of, using his position in the company or whatever.
That hanging out position we're
The
talking about.
The intern position. And I said, if she submits to Mad Hatter right now, she'll probably get it because nobody approached. And she did. She took the hint, but it took her I think if I remember correctly, you had to tell her twice because she didn't understand it. Like there was the language barrier.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. C'est sûrement ça, ouais.
And then Tree Monkey is a good friend of mine. That's what I call him. His name's Michael Tree March. Is literally a friend of mine who I know is very talented. And I was giving him a shot to write comics, and he pitched the White Rabbit. Nobody else did. It was crazy. Kira's is always bad at the internets. She always gets kicked off.
No, it's her.
It's her.
It's her.
But
Even when she's
ultimately-
at my house, even
ultimately,
she could be at my house on my laptop and still drop call. It's just.
Kira apparently cannot stop coughing, so she has to. I don't know if I should have shared that. I apologize.
Hey Travis, the other Matt that's on here, I do have to dip. I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. I have another freaking funeral to go to tomorrow. Can you believe that crap?
Oh.
All the freaking funerals and all the freaking deaths. I have another funeral to go to tomorrow, so I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow.
All right, have a great day, man. I'm gonna
Have a great day. Take care of yourself, man. I hope everything goes well.
Matt, take care.
Thanks a lot. Still getting over the freaking surprise triple root canal last week. It's been awesome. So
at least that didn't lead to another funeral trip, but be careful.
yeah, I'd rather have another one than another funeral.
Well, thanks for hanging out, Matt Knowles.
Yeah, man. All right,
Yeah,
Matt,
it was
Matt,
good one.
I'm leaving you it, buddy. You got it, Matt. You're the only Matt now. You got to hold the mantle. See you guys
Soul
later.
Matt.
Hold the mantle.
Chuck, you're safe, but it is down to less than $800 now. Just so you know.
Nice.
And does,
I'm good with that.
Does Hot Sauce come in Pepsi bottles? Do I have to check a Pepsi?
No, you're supposed to mix them.
You're supposed to mix them?
I think it's called a
So
hot
let's,
tamale.
let's look at these pages. Let's show up a page of James's real quick.
Ooh, yeah.
You want to see the color ones, or you want to? No.
Sure.
I mean, you can't see them anyways, but everyone else can enjoy them.
I'll see the green. I might not see the red, but we'll see.
Give me a second. Because when you're on StreamYard, if you don't know, it takes control of Facebook, even though it doesn't mean to. So I'm trying to scroll to a message.
And James is becoming a regular on Orange Cone Productions, by the way.
That is true. He's been doing a couple of things.
Well, I try to get work done with people that I dig.
Oh,
this guy right here.
Yeah, and he really digs
everybody
Jerome.
has heard the stories about the craptastic situation I got myself into
Yeah.
a few years ago. So as far as that goes, when I get with people that I dig, then I'm more than willing to contribute.
All right, let's see a couple of these pages. You can see that color, right?
Oh yeah, I can see the yellow. That looks good.
So
really good.
I was so shocked when I was working on these, how like eerie and nighttime it pulled off. Like I was able. Oh wow, the red light is super duper dark red. I can actually see it. Wow, that's bold. But I really enjoyed making it feel like it was in some place that was more dreamy than real.
Whoa.
You probably can't tell the difference between these two, can you?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
When green and red are next to each other, my eyes, the green, this is gonna sound really weird, like I'm dropping acid, but I'm not. It's a dotted line forms around the colors and they dance.
Okay. And that's all we're going to show because any more than that is really spoiler heavy. That's already a little
Right.
spoiler heavy.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about the kaiju fight. That's the beginning of it. And it gets nasty and dirty. I really enjoy drawing the combat and pushing into the night. I really hate drawing horses. And so the fact that I pulled off a horse in 3 panels, I was shocked and impressed with myself at the same time.
I usually hear that from people about robots. They hate drawing robots. So.
Oh yeah.
With robots, I'd say I hate drawing the same robot over and over and over.
Right.
Like if you have to draw an army of them,
Oh.
Yes.
So
James, your work in Cthulhu Invades, in both of them, it's so dark that I almost feel like you probably should have just taken black pages and then added white to them.
Well, process-wise, I know you guys are talking about how some artists don't like talking about it. Once I have a drawing of a character, I put white underneath them. Then I put what I learned in doing Inheritance, my first horror book, was to put all these different layers with different opacities of black on top of them, and then I can create lighting effects inside of a comic book. And that's why you can see like me push characters into backgrounds and bring them forward and stuff like that. I do that with layers and their different opacities. And what I do is I just black the whole damn page, and then I take away where I want the light to be instead of doing it the other way around and trying to layer the black a little bit at a time.
Yeah. So let's go to the Red Queen. I think it's really cool that we have the Queen of Hearts and the Red Queen in the same panel.
Yeah, and they're both raging in this book.
Right, they are both raging.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Luis Santamarina's art. He's Argentina artist from Cordoba. And I've just been working with him on another book we've been trying to get published, like through traditional publishing routes. I'm kind of afraid of Kickstarter. I love that of the tower. I loved how he went like 2D with the Red Keep. I thought that was pretty awesome. And the Red Nail that I've called that bridge, like extending over. And she's got her pawns up there. Well, not her pawns, her bishops up there. The dark and light bishops up there.
That combination of 2D and 3D lighting and stuff is kind of interesting.
Yeah, his pages always amaze me. Like just what he comes up with and how he approaches it. He kind of seems to have fun with it a lot.
Dude,
I wish I could.
A Cthulhu monster up in the top left.
Yeah, that's the Shiba that I don't like to say.
The Shibboleth.
Yes, the Shibboleth, because she plays a part in it. It's kind of like something she summons to get. It's called the story is called Sacrifice, a Poison Pawn variation. Poison Pawn's a move you do, or a sort of a technique that has been coined by some chess masters. It's like you put a pawn out there, and if they take it, it kind of puts them in trouble. So she's kind of summoning these poison pawns with the sort of magic of Shub, and she's going to make some sacrifices.
Yeah, I think you did a great job. I mean, you booted out these pages fast. You really wanted to be part of it. You gave me the script.
Yeah, definitely.
You were so frustrated because you would constantly message me because you would want.
I wrote about 100 scripts. So.
Well, he was really
Let me
upset.
guess, you wrote the script before you asked him what characters were available?
I don't remember, but I know I got turned down on Alice. I know that.
Well, and you really, once you picked your character, once we got you your character, you really wanted to do something, and you were like, "Hey, what's happening with the Red King? What's happening with the Red King?"
Yeah.
And I would refuse to tell you because that's my story. And we haven't talked about it for a minute. I don't share my story, but I always keep it secret.
I'm your queen. That's cute.
Yeah, so that everybody knows, Travis doesn't give all of us an idea of who is doing what.
Right.
We get assigned a character, and then the rest of us kind of get it. So when things coalesce, it's entirely accidental.
I didn't know anything. Every story that comes my way is a big surprise.
So I did the Red King. I had Mr. Staniak do these pages.
Oh, that's interesting.
And by the way, this is the flats. This is not the final colors.
I dig the flats.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Who's the gold guy?
That is the King in Yellow.
Oh, right.
So if you
man,
Astor, for those if you guys want to test my friggin' Cthulhu knowledge, there you go, Hastor.
I want a poster of that king. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's very, very dope. And him and the Red King are about to go at it and see what's up. Doesn't this look like a Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy cutscene?
Yeah.
Like Chrono Trigger, like specifically, right? But yeah, I got the Great Sanyak. In fact, remember, Chuck, I was trying to keep that super secret, like that I got Sanyak. I was trying to keep it. I didn't invite him to the group for a long time, and because Sanyak was a big get. Like it was a big get. I really wanted to. I did Emily the last time, and I really wanted to go the opposite way this time. And I picked, and I make the book, so I could pick any character I wanted, and I really wanted Red King, which was shocking. But there's that line in Alice in Wonderland where it's a Return to Oz, or not Return to Oz, Through the Looking Glass.
Through the Looking Glass.
And the line is, if he was ever to awake, this would all not exist, and you would not be part of it. Like, and I was just like, shit, like he's a god.
You really identified with that character.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you did. So I really always resonated with that. Later, I found that basically that was the writer. That was just his. Like if he stopped, dreaming about these stories, they wouldn't exist. It was kind of a metaphor. But I went the other way. I was like, he's a god. So in this book, he is a god, and we will deal with.
Travis went metal.
Yeah, it's got to be dope. It's 8 pages of metal awesomeness. So we'll see on that. So
it's still fitting because you're the god of this book. So
thanks.
You'll get extra income.
I think it's gotten away from me a few times. I think gods would have better control.
Have you read like Greek tales and whatnot? No, you're pretty much par for the course, my friend.
Actually, you're doing a pretty good job in comparison.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure someone is.
You haven't turned yourself or your women into a horse.
Yeah, you didn't impregnate any swans. Like you're good.
Yeah.
You haven't destroyed whole cities. You're good.
So Matt is second choice here. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
So Matt, what's going on?
Yeah. So it was. I still incorporated the caterpillar as the weapons dealer, but I sort of had the Queen of Hearts. I envisioned her as a bit of a Joan of Arc character, defending in trenches with the card soldiers, and again they have the help of the caterpillar there. They're taking on the spiders of Len. I just wanted basically some cannon fodder. Just realizing I've just done 2 books recently that the spiders are the people who get killed and dealt with pretty easily. So maybe I have a thing against spiders.
Maybe you need a spider hero. That's what you need. Like maybe a man.
And so my artist is Ertan Seahand. He colored a book for me on Kickstarter. Probably it was like my second book, and he was like, "Hey, I want to get into to drawing," and he did a book. Travis, both of you and I were in that the book that Jack Holder put together, and you saw his art. And you gave me the thumbs up for him to continue. And since then, from a colorist to a sequential artist, he's made a lot of strides.
Yeah, I can't believe you say he was just getting into art. That first panel, I feel like there's so much movement in it. Like,
right.
I feel like there's
like
wind.
old Conan. It's just modern colors on an old Conan page.
Wow.
I was gonna say this looks like old Sword and Sorcery pages. It's like straight out of like Marvel's Conan, like circa like 1984 and stuff.
Wow.
Looks good. I think I sent him. I think I did like a bit of like Google image search for something that I was thinking of, but he took it and just amped it up by 10 times from there.
Good artists are like wrestlers. We take what it is you're looking for and turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
Did he do
and
the
Matt,
color too? Sorry.
The
Yeah,
real
he
question
did-
here
he
is
did
why
the
do you
colors
hate
as well.
Jerome?
Wow.
What?
Why do you hate
It's 'cause
Jerome? 'Cause that's not Jerome's lettering.
That was the lettering was done by Ertan's wife, who wanted to get into lettering. It was not as much of a
You hate Jerome.
and not a thing against Jerome. It
Jerome,
was a
I'm
thing
so
of
sorry.
giving somebody else an opportunity to grow and create. That's the way I'd like to look at it.
It's okay, Matt. It can be both.
Right.
No,
think
no, not
Jerome-
at all.
I think
Yes,
Jerome
you can
thinks I had a
justify
better-
your internal hatred and rage with something
because I'll tell you, Davey Lee's guy wanted to letter, and he was like, "No, I have mad respect for Jerome," and not in
Yeah.
so many words, but basically, like I will not. I submit to the Canadian.
I believe actually he said he feared an international incident, so that's why he didn't do it. That did come up at the bar. International incident.
Don't
The
feel
Canadian
too guilty
Argentinian
either.
War. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I turned my pages in, they were also lettered, and it sparked like I couldn't be a part of the argument because I was driving, so it ended up with Travis and Chuck going, "No, I think he does it because he needs to know where the spaces are. Isn't that why?" Well, I think it's either that or he really doesn't like Jerome that much. It's one or the other. And they went back and forth.
I had no
Jerome
idea
has a
what was
list
going
of
on.
enemies that I've created in my own mind.
Well, the idea behind that is quite simple. Actually, it's just that because we get all these stories from different artists, and we want to sell the fact that it's a old story. So it's not like the others anthology. That's why we want to have the lettering as close to. We have to say we set certain rules to the lettering, so it's easier to say that it's more like a trade paperback or a graphic novel than an anthology with separate stories.
Yeah,
makes
it's
perfect
a
sense, yeah.
continuity issue.
Yeah.
Unification.
The goal was to have some sort of continuity. If I'm not only through the narrative but through the lettering, because I've read anthologies, and I think everybody here has, where you see lettering that drastically changed. And I'm not even saying bad lettering, just ones that are like, this is not what we signed up for. Like, and it really takes you away from the book.
Well,
and
it's
when
amazing
we're
how
doing,
complicated some people try to letter things by screwing with the fonts. One book I was on, the person that was doing the lettering wanted to use a different font for each emotion, and he had a list of 18 fonts.
Oh,
yeah, that was my reaction as well. So keeping it together so that the reader has one pull-in experience, it's important, and that's a good reason. I just try to make it easy for Jerome to letter my stuff by making sure he has space. That's what it is.
Well, I'm convinced that Matt hates Jerome, and I don't know why, and we'll deal with it.
Well, I checked it. I checked in with the approved sort of font list or what we were using, so I didn't like go too far off the path.
Yeah, just you do
I'm just
everything in
saying, you
Comic
comb
Sans
your
everything.
hair, and I don't trust you because you comb your hair. I like you.
I only comb my hair when it's a video. If it's a podcast, I do my hair with
So Wendy has a request. She would like to show off some of her pages. I don't know if you guys want to see it. Maybe you guys like Kyron Silver. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Of course.
More the better.
Can we address? I know Kyron's not here, and hopefully he'll watch the replay.
Yeah, what the hell?
Kyron can't go, hey, I'm launching StarCore this week, and then also say, hey, I am doing Sub 4, because I care about one way more than the other, and it's not the one he wants me to care about.
Let's ignore the possibility of cross promotion for a little bit.
Right.
I'm going the other way.
It's hilarious.
Bailey's
Chuck,
Travis is clearly
several of us are in the book, which we didn't even know, and we've cross promoted him and mentioned it. And
But yeah, I like Kyron. I'm excited about his Kickstarter, but I'm more excited about Saw 4. If I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
All right, let's look up this other one. It's Cards, I believe, is hers.
Yep.
Yeah. She has another card story. Yep.
Yep. Hers is called Deck of Delirium.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Check it
She
out.
went mad crazy. Yeah.
Oh, she threw some
Here's
Alice
the
in.
dodo.
Oh, interesting.
She's got some Alice in this. She got some Queen of
I
Hearts.
like how for most of us, this is the first time we're seeing the other people's work.
Yeah.
This whole thing makes me really sad that I'm not proving everybody's stories this time. I have to actually wait to get to see
wait to see if
everybody's
you.
full-
I know.
full story.
I was always very curious about seeing this one too, because I've actually seen the script when everything first got started. We started talking about other things. Wendy and I found out that we both had card stories right away. So I believe we shared scripts so we could make sure we didn't step on each other's toes.
Yep.
What, that was allowed?
Well, we kind of did that outside of the group, I think.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of this is just some inside baseball. We are adding the numbers and stuff. Wendy, I did talk to the colorist today.
Nice.
So yeah, I think Kyron did a great job. I think it's
Yeah.
a cool story. I'm excited to see it. You got anything to say about it, Wendy?
Wendy, do you have anything to say about that piece? Anything? No.
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 Okay.
She's very proud of it and very happy. And yeah, really, this is all her words, by the way. She's very proud, very happy with it, and really enjoyed working with Kyron a lot.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's check it on the Kickstarter. See if we have to drink hot sauce yet, because it is almost midnight, and I have to drive to go pick up Granite State Punk tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
I've actually been avoiding the PDF copy because I want to read the actual hard copy. When I
Same here.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, you do not want me to drink, I guess. Davey and I.
Not so
Wait,
nice.
somebody put in a fake pledge.
But
Where's the notorious?
Why don't we contact the trolls from other people's campaigns?
Yeah, exactly. Where's that guy that keeps putting $2,000 into people's?
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the
into people's
notorious
podcasts?
troll?
that happened to Cthulhu is hard to spell.
Yeah,
and I
the-
think
the-
they actually
the-
managed to get him banned.
Yeah, the
And what about
$10,000 pledge.
I don't like what he was doing, but if he was doing it whenever a creator said, "I will drink the hot sauce," if I respect that.
You'd accept it. You'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, that seems good. Yeah, $10,000 with no reward. Okay."
Yeah, but at least Chuck had to drink hot sauce.
Well, that's
Yeah.
so that's not
That's
feeling
the
great.
important thing.
No, absolutely. Take care of yourself, Wendy.
Indeed.
Okay. But we have done this for 2 hours. I think it's time to wrap it up. Thank you guys for all hanging out. It has been an amazing fucking day. I'm gonna use that language, that body language. This is doing way better than I expected, and I not to shoot myself in the foot. Actually, a lot of people told me like you're gonna kill it, but I expected. I wanted to hit 11. That was my goal. So we killed that. What's Wendy saying?
She's not saying anything.
That wasn't
That's somebody
Wendy.
else's
That was
wife.
That was my lovely 5-foot wife who just came home, but now she's hiding.
She wants to know why you're on the internet.
Yeah, basically, she came in and poked me.
I'm setting him free soon. I mean, it's like 9 o'clock in California.
He killed him.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. I rushed home so fast so that I would not be in my car.
So, what are we going to promote? I know Matt is in. You're in 3, right? Cthulhu. It's hard to spell. Matt.
I was in 2.
Okay, so you were with me
so-
with 2. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still part of the family, but I'm just in 2.
But you still is your other book still alive? No. that's
Moss
gone too.
Vale?
Yeah. You got nothing.
Nope, I'm currently
He's promoting
I'm
the
currently
beard.
just in Wonderland. That's where I reside.
Well, what's next, Matt?
So I have 2 books that should be coming out in maybe this year. One book from Source Point. It's called Metal Eagle. It's about the CIA band that a heavy metal band that's a front for the CIA that's going around and doing spying missions. And then another book from Red 5 called Dying Days, where people start aging rapidly and there's a race against time to try to figure out why that's happening. So those are the two things coming up for me soon.
Nice. Dave, so David, you're still submitting call publishers?
Been talking to a publisher for Benigno. They've been kind enough to was talking with the editor, then had like 2 weeks ago now. No, a whole month. An interview with an executive editor on the call as well. So that was good. Or director of editing. I forget the title. But had a talk with them and they gave me some pointers and resubmitting to them about like the changes they wanted. So it was like 3 pages of additional things. It was like a prologue I had there, but they kind of want to beef it up to like a standalone, an ash can or something. So just to sort of like diversify some of the things that we could potentially go into. But of course, it's all like potential and there's nothing guaranteed yet. So hoping for the best. If not, I'll be trying to maybe do my first Kickstarter, and that's scary to me. I come from the traditional publishing world, and I don't know. I've been sending this to people today, like, hey, go do this Kickstarter. And I get like texts from my aunts, like, what do? I have no idea. I'm like, I'm not sure either. I'm pretty sure you're going to get a book, though, if you go
Yeah. Dude, there's lots of resources. Check out like Comics Launch podcasts and stuff like that. You can learn a lot just by doing that.
I think one person that I've seen in people's friends list, like Inked or something, has been contacting me. They said they would help. I don't know if you've heard about them.
Inked Marketing?
I guess so, yeah. Is that like a full service thing, or they help you out? Or
Yeah. They'll do as little or as much as you would like them.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, because that could be the next step for a book I've been working on for quite a while.
And have you... Red 5 just kind of came into. We've been doing a lot of stuff. Red 5 might be a good pitch for you too.
Red 5, what's that?
Yep. They're a good little publisher. They've been making some moves and really picking up some good indie books. So they're very indie friendly. So if the one that you're talking to right now doesn't work out, try them.
Yeah, that sounds good. I got another one I'm pitching out soon. Tigers in Texas, and I kind of stole a little bit from. Who's that Joe guy, the Tiger King, and my experiences with this rancher in Texas. So I'm excited about that one. A whole different bend. The one story I'm doing is like YA-ish, like new age sort of, and then this one's a bit more adult, but want to see how those rivers would go.
I actually think because I've read his book, some of the language, I get why people have issues, but I think this Turning Red may help you a lot because there's some language in that's a little risque for it, I was like, oh, my daughter should be hearing that. She's not, like.
Oh, the movie, the Disney movie.
Yeah, the Disney movie Turning Red. You should watch it. They say some risky things, and it was really funny. She's 9 years old, and I was like, oh, maybe she's in there. But then I had to think about it. She wasn't allowed to watch it on her profile. Like I had to switch to mine. It was a PA, even though it's designed for the kids.
Right. And you think about what you used to watch at her age, and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. That's not too bad.
That's right. I'm so glad that Emily's at the age she's at, because it's gone from is this okay for her to watch to is it going to be really awkward if I'm sitting next to her when she's watching? I'm glad we're at that stage right now. It's a lot of fun.
Do you want to hear my trick? Here's what I did with my daughter. Like I loved Dawson's Creek so much that I had the DVDs. And I made her watch a few of them, and then she got hooked. So I was like, all right, this is tame. This was really, really bad in my day, but really tame for you. Like the first episode of Dawson's Creek is about the teacher having an affair with the main character, the second lead.
Pacey.
I know who Pacey is. His name's Joshua Jackson. I was trying to do it for them. I'm all in the creek. I'm all in the creek.
Are you though? Because you were stumbling there, man. You kind of felt like a wannabe.
No, I'm fucking. Let's go. Dawson's Creek trivia. Bring it up, somebody.
I'm gonna throw down a Dawson's Creek over a contest or something.
So I mean, you're just gonna have to, at this point, probably secure some rights so we can do Cthulhu Invades Dawson's Creek.
That was what I was going to bring up.
And if there's a problem,
I'm going to write a Joey story.
We don't want to wait, so we have to design this.
No, you do a Dawson's Creek parody.
Can't wait to see Cthulhu having to go to the director's office, principal's office.
Oh, man. Cthulhu's sleeping with the teacher again. He's so evil. James, what do you got working on?
Well, I'm finally working on Nod.
Okay.
And I am concentrating on that. I just actually finished up the first 6 pages or so, turned it into an ash can. So if anybody wants to check that out, I can show some artwork real quick. Let's see here.
Sure.
How do I do that? Where's the share button? Damn it!
I should be at
there.
The
It is.
bottom.
I found it. I'll share my screen.
Let's see it.
Okay.
There you go.
So this is the cover for the ash can. Nod is basically a story about a lonely little girl who ends up. That's not what I wanted. There we go. She's a lonely little girl. Her father ended up dying of cancer, and she's dealing with that. And when she lost him, she got this teddy bear. What she doesn't know is that every night when she falls asleep, that teddy bear has been fighting nightmares from the dreamlands to protect her. That's kind of how she's been able to survive going through all that grief and deal with all those things. One night she wakes up, and the nasties drag him into the land of Nod, and she has to make the decision to either let him go or go in after him. And I'm super excited about the story. It's been something that's been close to my heart for a really long time. And I'm going to be doing it in about 12 issues for the first story arc. About half of those are written. And the first one, like I said, I am still working on. I'm going to have it finished up by July, and there will be a Kickstarter later on this year once I know where everything is going. And I'm super excited to be on it. But if anybody wants to see that ash can, all they have to do is go to angrybrain-artworks.com and go on there and go ahead and subscribe to my email list, and they'll be able to get hold of that ash can and read the first parts of the story, which is basically a teddy bear whooping ass on a boogeyman. So I completely and totally recommend everybody go and check it out.
Kat knows a little bit about that from what I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Katrina's done some teddy bear exploring a long time ago.
Teddy bears fighting the boogeyman in the land under the bed.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
Brain,
one
you say that
is
was? I could see the ash can. Indie Brain, you said?
Angry Brain Artworks.
Angry Brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Angrybrain-artworks.com. Somebody
Just
stole
put it
my
in the
original
chat.
address.
Post a comment to the right. You should be able to. It should go everywhere.
Okay. And Kira's actually helping me write it. So she's got plenty of what to say inside of it, as always.
Nice. Peter, you wanna spoil what you're working on?
Sure.
Taking my artists for stuff
Absolutely.
because I recommended them, which was stupid of me.
I've only had them for a little while longer, but yeah. So I've got an 8-page ash can coming out in the Free Show universe. It was started by Jonathan Hollywood Hedrick. So I wrote a story just kind of as a thought process. Just I wanted to write an 8-pager in 8 hours. And I liked it well enough that I showed it to Jonathan, and he was like, let's do it. So I'm working with Bags Brothers, who I believe are also doing something for Wonderland as well.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. And they are absolutely killing it. Let me see, can I...
Yeah, you can do the same thing. Share your screen.
Yeah. Look and see if it had... Oh, it's like full screens here. Oh, there's Windows. There we go.
Their work in Wonderland is ridiculous.
Nice. So that is.
Too bad they had a crappy writer.
They worked on all of the spirits. Just saying.
Yeah, so I mean, they just absolutely
Award-winning
killing it. This
Holiday
is the color proofs for page
Awards-winning
one.
Holiday spirits.
But it's really great. It's a little zombie story that's set kind of from the perspective of a state's press secretary for a governor of a state. That's not mentioned. So yeah, that I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out or how it's coming out. I think we might be going direct to publisher. Jonathan's writing something else that it's going to be kind of paired with as well. So I'm not sure exactly when or where it's coming out just yet, but the work is being done. I'm also writing something else that I'm not mentioning the name of yet, but hopefully I'll be kind of done with it in the next couple of months and start looking for an artist for that too. That'll probably be Kickstarter.
Nice. Look, so do you got another page to show, or is that what you got?
I do. Let me.
That one doesn't have any zombies. I want to see a zombie if I'm seeing stuff.
Zombies.
I was thinking it might be like a 1950s old movie dealing with the monsters, and he's just like sitting in the back trying to deal with this problem from his computer.
Let me see. I say zombies don't actively show up until later. Give me one second.
It's like a character story almost.
Yeah, it's basically about kind of how he's dealing with it. Let's see. Just need to open this actually up in a different window here.
I think if you close that and as a share screen again, you'll be all right.
Well, it was more of I'll do that and then yes, I need tips, windows. And
I didn't know we could share art.
These are just pencils and inks.
Oh,
right
there's
here.
some zombies.
But yeah, there's some zombies in there. It's absolutely fantastic.
There's some zombies.
It's a horde.
Is he giving a speech to the zombies?
Well, no, he's giving. In this particular case, he's still talking to the press, and the zombies break through the barrier. In this particular instance,
that would be great.
I think I would love it more if he was talking.
He's trying to talk to the zombies. I mean, that would be amusing, but this one is definitely less humor than what I normally kind of interject into my stuff for sure.
Human meat is on the inflation rise. Sorry.
Anybody else got something they want to show before we take off? All right.
Well, I do want to say I've just started writing the next book.
Nice.
So I'm 3.5. I also have a cat misbehaving behind me. I am 3.5 stories into the next cat book, which is called Cobalt's Castaways.
Okay.
I can't.
I'm hoping you just keep talking about it. You're stalling to see if Chuck can drink the hot sauce, right?
I am. I really am. No, I was going to say, and then right around April 1st, there's a new Kickstarter for a book called The Misadventurers. So watch for that. That's a really fun book that I believe has been picked up by Scout.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming out, for being part of this.
Thanks for having us.
Each and every one of you who've been part of this book. Let's look at our schedule. What do we got next? So tomorrow night, you got me. I will be on, and I think I might invite Chuck if he's awake. At Explain Yourself, Kevin Joseph's show is a great show. If you've never seen it. But he doesn't want tons of people. He doesn't want a flood. And then on Saturday night, we have the Comic Burrito, which is really good. We got some great people for that. So that's going to be a wild ass time. And then when are we on your show, Matt?
So just so people are aware, Travis Gibb loves the Comic Burrito Boys so much that when me, him, Davey Lee, and a bunch of others were drinking and hanging out, he actually left the bar, hung outside, and went live with them. We're all of a sudden like, what's going on? What is he doing? And I go inside, and he's like just completely 3 sheets, and he's like, hey man, I'm on with the burritos. So I was like, we're inside with friends. What are you doing? And he's like, it's just a minute, man. We're just having fun. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not having an affair. I'm not having an affair. I'm just talking to the burritos.
It felt like it. It was an emotional
He was
affair.
open about it.
It was an emotional affair. It felt like it.
Matt, where are you at? When are we hanging out?
Oh, we got another backer.
Did you
It better not be a $2,000
Doesn't have to be 2,000. It's like
$800 or something.
Like $800. Matt, when are we on with you?
I'm randomly, or not randomly, I'm rapidly scanning my schedule. I believe
April 2nd. April 2nd.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be Constructing Comics on April 2nd.
And who do we got on that show? Let's see who signed up. You got me. You got Noah, because Noah did a pinup.
Yes.
You got Nathan, Craig Florence, and Stone. Wow, you got a big crew. That's a good one.
Well, I had to have Stoney because I know that you have such a bromance. So
I do. Dude, he's a great hype man. He's a great hype, and I think he's the unsung hype man. I remember when we were done, Chuck talked to me one night. We kind of do rewrite. Chuck and I talk all the time, and Chuck was like, who the fuck is Stoney? And where did he come from? And why is he so active? Because he was a colorist. We actually found out one night that he was the writer for Mad Cave. It was in a live stream. I'm like, why is a
colorists,
writer?
Man, they're like the drummers of comics.
Our colorist. What's that?
I said colorists are like the drummers of comics. They're all weird, and you really can't have it without them.
But yeah, Stoney was like the uncon hero. He was always there, and he was always entertaining, whether or not he was in the group or not. But so if you haven't backed tonight, the reason why you didn't back, if you didn't back tonight, hopefully the reason is you're waiting for Saturday, because if they get 10 backs, we're running another late ass Cthulhu Invades Wonderland RPG. So that's gonna be
late.
So make sure you check out that
RPG.
Yes. So we have a challenge. If they get us 10 physical backers, I will run a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Nice.
It's got to be during their live stream. But yeah, if you want to watch it, it is really, really funny. It's on the Comic Burrito. Look for the Cthulhu Invades Oz RPG. And as I said in the meeting, it is in continuity. So it is in Oz continuity. Nice. I hold to it. It is in continuity. Everything that happens there happened. And you get Chuck mad. It's 3 a.m. Everyone wants to leave. And Chuck's like, all right, before we go, I need to know what happens if we did this, and this.
Dude,
the alternate.
And most importantly, it puts great content on the YouTube. It's really fun to watch.
It's not a choose your own adventure book, Chuck. You can't just flip back and find out.
Well, it's got to end.
Well,
no, it doesn't.
I did tell him what would happen, so it kind of is. So we're all shipping out. Happy St. Patrick's Day. In fact, it is over. St. Patrick's Day is no longer. We're done.
For him.
Done. We're no longer Irish.
Just for you, dude. I got 3 more hours to go.
Sorry.
How does that work?
St. Patrick's Day is over in God's own time zone, Eastern.
That's right. It's done, guys.
Look, when Hamilton made the negotiation to give up some to the South, he mandatory made it still East Coast. That shit wasn't playing. When did the California purchase, we weren't time zones. You guys fucked it all up.
We fucked it all up. Fuck the time zones at all.
Yeah.
All that is less sleep for people.
I'm absolutely a firm believer in all of us moving to UTC and just changing your hours of operation to match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares?
You mean you guys don't take trains everywhere now?
No, and there are no Zeppelins either.
Oh.
Well,
that's shitty.
But we built that whole railroad for California. They don't fucking use it. It's bullshit.
It goes straight into the ocean.
Anyways, from me, Peter, James Davies, the Canadian Destroyer, Jerome, Katrina, Matt, best hair in the business, and Chuck. Say your line, Chuck.
My name is Chuck, And I give a fuck.
We are out of this bitch. You don't have to go home, but you cannot stay here.
Adios.
Don't want either.